You're in for a treat, folks. Max Verstappen is rewriting the history books in Formula One, securing his 10th consecutive victory at the 2023 Italian Grand Prix. A feat no driver has accomplished before. The stage? The iconic Monza circuit. All hopes were on Ferrari's Sainz Jr., who started at pole position, to end Verstappen's winning streak. Nonetheless, Verstappen, quite the strategist, kept close tabs on Sainz's tyre degradation, and oh, what a move on lap 5. He overtook Sainz using the doctors, building an unassailable lead. The surprise package? Verstappen's teammate Sergio Perez, who steered his way from the back of the grid to finish second. A 1-2 finish for Red Bull, ladies and gentlemen. A fierce duel between the Ferraris kept us on the edge of our seats, with Sainz holding off a relentless Leclerc to secure the podium finish. There was drama aplenty, with Lewis Hamilton penalised for a clash and George Russell penalised for failing to yield. Verstappen's record-breaking winning streak has certainly set him apart as one of the greatest drivers in Formula One history. What a spectacle it was! What a race that was, dear listeners. I'm your host, Enzo, and welcome to another episode of F1 Motor Fever podcast, where we bring you the most exciting and latest updates from the world of Formula One. You tune in at 3 in the afternoon and 7 in the evening every day, isn't it? Well, you're in the right place. Hello everyone, it's William here. Don't forget, folks, subscribing to our channel and turning on notifications means you never miss a beat. Comment, share with your friends and family, your support keeps us going. Spot on, William. Coming up next, we've got some enticing insights you wouldn't want to miss. I mean, this news, even I had to double take. Why is it relevant? Well, it's redefining the history of Formula One as we know it. Foot down. Hold tight. Here we go. Felipe, Vicente, cue the jingle. So, William, considering all we've analysed so far, what's your take on Verstappen's historic 10-win streak? Do you believe that the Monza circuit could have been the end of his winning run? Certainly, Enzo, the statistics were not in Verstappen's favour. Monza has a reputation for being a tricky circuit, and it's a venue where historic runs have been broken before. I think it's fair to say that there was a palpable sense of tension. After all, we're talking about the Italian Grand Prix, a race that has a history of crushing even the most dominant of competitors. That's a fair point, William Turner. The fact that Ferrari, who have been the beneficiaries of such collapses in the past, had Sainz on pole position must have added an extra layer of pressure. Sainz was racing at Monza, at the heart of Ferrari's homeland, and against Verstappen's winning streak. That's quite a scene, isn't it? Absolutely, Enzo. And let's not forget that Sainz was carrying the hopes of those passionate Ferrari fans. I'm sure he felt the weight of that expectation. Indeed. It was a high-stakes race for everyone involved. But, as we know, Verstappen managed to rewrite the history books, proving once again his skill and strategic mind. It will be interesting to see how the rest of the season unfolds. So, William, if I recall correctly, there was a bit of a misstep by Sainz at the start, which led to confusion and an extra formation lap. Do you remember it happening this way? You know, Enzo, honestly, I'm not entirely sure. I remember the extra formation lap, but the details are a bit fuzzy. Well, we have the perfect person to clear up this confusion. Let's get Victoria on the line to confirm what actually happened. Hello Victoria, hope you're doing great. I'm here with William discussing the 2023 Italian Grand Prix. We're a bit torn on whether Sainz actually caused the extra formation lap at the start. Could you clarify this for us? I see. Got it. Thanks a ton, Victoria. Talk to you soon. Hanging up now. Well, William, it appears that Sainz did indeed pull away prematurely, causing some confusion and leading to the extra formation lap. Victoria just confirmed it. I had a feeling that was what happened. Ah, that's right. It's all coming back to me now. Thanks for the clarification. No problem, William. It's always good to get the facts straight, especially when discussing such important events. Now, let's continue. Delving deeper into the race, it was evident that Sainz was under immense pressure from Verstappen. Despite his best efforts to increase his lead, Verstappen's straight-line advantage, thanks to Doctor's activation, was too significant to ignore. To be honest, Enzo, I didn't quite follow. Can you elaborate on what you mean by straight-line advantage? Of course, William. In Formula One, doctors, or drag reduction system, is a technology used to reduce aerodynamic drag in order to increase top speed and promote overtaking. When activated, it opens an adjustable flap on the rear wing of the car, reducing drag and subsequently increasing the car's speed. It can only be used in specific zones on the track, and only when a driver is within 1 second of the car in front. So, in this case, Verstappen was able to exploit this advantage to close the gap on Sainz. Now I see. So, using this doctor's advantage, Verstappen was able to keep up the pressure on Sainz, correct? Exactly, William. And, as the race progressed, it became clear that Sainz was struggling with tire degradation, which only made Verstappen's task easier. As a result, Sainz was not only fighting to maintain his lead but also battling his own car's declining performance. Just a quick side note, William, much of the detailed information we've been discussing comes from a comprehensive article I came across on racefans.net. It was written by Woolwood and published on the 4th of September, 2023. Do you know of this site? Indeed, Enzo, it's a well-respected platform among motorsport enthusiasts. They offer in-depth race reviews, news updates, and expert analysis. It's a great source for reliable information, but, as you rightly mentioned earlier, always important to verify facts from multiple sources. Absolutely, William. Shall we carry on with the discussion? As the race unfolded, the pressure mounted on Sainz as Verstappen closed the gap to within half a second by the 15th lap. This pressure was clearly getting to Sainz, who ended up locking his right front tire into a tight right-hand turn. This mistake was all Verstappen needed to seize his opportunity and take the lead. Verstappen swiftly built a 4.5-second lead. But here's an aspect that makes me apprehensive. Despite the pressure, Ferrari decided to bring in Sainz for his sole stop of the afternoon on lap 19. This pit stop, however, was less than ideal, lasting over 3 seconds due to a delay on the right front tire. This not only widened the gap further but also placed Leclerc, Sainz's teammate, in a potential position to overtake him. Enzo, that's an interesting conjecture. Indeed, pit stops can be a make-or-break situation in a race. An unexpected delay can cost the driver valuable seconds, and in a sport where every millisecond counts, this could mean the difference between victory and defeat. It's a harsh reminder of the relentless demands of Formula One. As the race went on, things were looking quite interesting for the second Red Bull driver, Perez. He had successfully managed to overtake Russell for the 4th position before his pit stop, and pushed hard to close down the Ferraris. Now, this is where things get dicey. Leclerc, in his Ferrari, was leading Perez but fell out of doctor's range on the 30th lap, leaving him vulnerable to Perez's advancing Red Bull. It was during the 31st lap, heading out of the first chicane, when Perez seized his moment. He had the momentum and decided to commit to the outside into the chicane. Despite a slight brush with Leclerc, there were no objections from race control. In fact, Perez managed to overtake Leclerc on the pit straight on the 32nd lap and secure the final podium position. Meanwhile, Verstappen continued to dominate the race, building a lead of over 6 seconds, despite managing both his fuel load and his hard tires. Sainz was simply unable to match the Red Bull's pace and Perez was closing in, within doctor's range of the Ferrari. It wasn't plain sailing for Perez, though. Sainz, determined to maintain his position, forced Perez to back out on the 41st lap. He was able to block Perez again on the next lap. But with Sainz reporting that his tires were nearly finished, the dynamic of the race was poised to change. The stage seemed set for a thrilling finish. Let's delve deeper into the action. After a grueling 6 laps of sustained pressure, Perez finally managed to overtake Sainz. This not only put Red Bull in a 1-2 position but also allowed Perez to quickly escape out of doctor's range of Sainz, securing his place. Here's where things take a peculiar turn. Verstappen, who was leading the race comfortably with a 12-second lead over Perez, was instructed to increase the gap to Gasly. Now, the rationale behind this urgent request remains obscure, but Verstappen complied, backing off by a full second on his next lap. While Verstappen was slowing down, the action between the two Ferraris was heating up rapidly. Leclerc, who was trailing his teammate Sainz, saw an opportunity on lap 47. He used doctors along the pit straight to pull alongside and overtake Sainz. However, a subsequent lockup compromised his line through the chicane, allowing Sainz to pull back alongside through Curva Grande. In their haste to get ahead, both Ferraris missed the following corner. Sainz managed to retain his position ahead of Leclerc, promising a riveting finish to the spectacle. Before we proceed, here's a bit of trivia for our racing enthusiasts. Did you know that the Monza circuit, where our thrilling race is taking place, is one of the oldest and most iconic tracks in the world of Formula One? Known as La Pista Magica or the Magic Track, it was built in 1922 and is renowned for its high-speed straights and challenging corners. The circuit has a unique character, it's very fast and requires low downforce setups, which can often lead to thrilling wheel-to-wheel action, just like we're witnessing in today's race. And that's our fun fact of the day. Now back to the race commentary. This reminds me of something from my early days. I was just a child, living in Birmingham, and my father used to take me to the local karting track every Sunday. One day, he pointed to a young lad and said, "Watch that boy, he's going to be a star one day." That boy was none other than Nigel Mansell, a name that would later become synonymous with Formula One. Just like Verstappen, Mansell also had a reputation for being fearless and relentless. I remember one karting race where Mansell was leading comfortably, much like Verstappen today. But suddenly something went wrong with his kart. Most kids would have given up, but not Mansell. He slowed down, managed his pace, and despite the setback, finished the race. That day, I learned that racing is not just about speed, it's about resilience, grit, and the spirit to fight till the end, much like we are witnessing with Verstappen today. It's exciting to see how history repeats itself and how Verstappen, like Mansell, is making his mark in the annals of Formula One. His 10 straight Grand Prix wins are testament to his talent and determination. And let's not forget Sainz and Leclerc, pushing each other to the limit, adding to the excitement and the drama of the race. This is the essence of Formula One, the unpredictability, the thrill, and the sheer resilience of the drivers. It's why we love the sport. Let's shift our focus now to another significant event of the race, the performance of Perez. Despite a crash on Friday and a less than stellar qualifying performance, Perez managed to pass 3 cars to finish in second place behind his teammate Verstappen. Christian Horner, the Red Bull team principal, later explained that his team was concerned about the rising temperatures in Perez's RB19 due to the 30-degree heat. It's a testament to the team's strategic thinking and risk management, as they preferred to secure their position rather than push their luck in unfavorable conditions. Meanwhile, the fierce battle for the third position between Sainz and Leclerc was certainly one of the highlights of the day. Despite locking up at the first chicane on the final lap, Leclerc managed to stay hot on the heels of Sainz. But in the end, it was Sainz who secured his first Monza podium as a Ferrari driver, by a mere 0.184 seconds. Sainz, in his post-race comments, expressed his joy at securing a podium finish in Monza in front of the tifosi, the passionate Ferrari fans. Admittedly, Red Bull was significantly quicker than Ferrari today, but for Sainz, a third-place finish at Monza is as good as it gets. Let's not forget to mention the other notable performances of the day. George Russell finished 5th for Mercedes, but unfortunately received a 5-second penalty for failing to yield a position to Esteban Ocon after missing the Retifilo chicane on his way out of the pit lane. Lewis Hamilton, Russell's teammate, finished 6th after a penalty of his own for squeezing McLaren's Oscar Piastri at the Rogia chicane. That incident led to Piastri needing a new front wing and unfortunately, he dropped out of the points. Meanwhile, Alexander Albon managed to secure the 7th spot for Williams after a race where he was more focused on defending than attacking. Lando Norris was Albon's victim, having to settle for 8th after spending nearly the entire second half of the race within a second of Albon. The final points were claimed by Fernando Alonso in 9th and Valtteri Bottas secured a rare point for Alfa Romeo in 10th place, despite a close call with Logan Sargent's Williams during a late battle. But at the end of the day, the story was all about Verstappen and Red Bull. As Leclerc aptly put it, today, Max and Red Bull are doing an incredible job, so they deserve it, whether it's boring or not. Verstappen's 10 straight Grand Prix wins are a testament to his and Red Bull's dominance, and it's difficult to understate the magnitude of what they've achieved. As we bring this discussion towards its conclusion, it's only fitting to end with the words of the man of the moment, Max Verstappen. With his 3rd championship in as many seasons looking inevitable, even Verstappen himself seems to appreciate the magnitude of his accomplishments. After the race, he stated, "I never thought at the beginning of the season that something like this was possible. So yeah, very proud." It's hard not to respect and admire the determination, skill, and grit Verstappen and the Red Bull team have displayed this season. The level of consistency they've managed to maintain throughout the season is nothing short of remarkable. Absolutely, William Turner. And as we've seen time and time again, in the high-stakes, high-pressure world of Formula One, consistency is king. William Turner, what are the internet fans saying about all this? Well, let's dive into it, shall we? Outlandishness Pure 2 made a post saying, "Toto on Max's 10 in a row, our situation was different because we had 2 guys fighting against each other within the team. I don't know whether he cares about the record. It's not something that would be important for me, any of those numbers. It's for Wikipedia. Nobody reads that anyway." Well, I suppose Toto isn't a big fan of browsing through Wikipedia data. Apparently not. This sparked quite a bit of discussion, with Novadova 2020 defending Wikipedia and saying, "Hey, I use Wikipedia all the time. I feel insulted." And Off the Pace responded with a bit of a joke, saying, "Somebody add this quote to Toto's Wikipedia page, quick." Many users, like Bad Janet and Bath_, praised Wikipedia for being an ad-free and valuable resource. Interesting, what else popped up in the thread? There was also some discussion about how the race would have gone if it weren't for certain penalties. _D1 Aval_ said, "To think it would have been 26 if it weren't for Brazil 2022. Crazy numbers." This sentiment was echoed by Tralimp Trollstein and others, sharing images and discussing how different the team leadership has been since Ross Brawn handed over the team to Toto Wolff. It's clear that fans are heavily invested in every aspect of the sport, from the drivers to the team management. Very insightful, William. And that wraps up another thrilling episode of F1 Motor Fever podcast, where today we dissected the unstoppable march of Max Verstappen through the circuits. We're delighted to have all of you along for the ride. And what a ride it's been! We're here 15 and 19 o'clock every day, bringing you all the twists and turns of the Formula One world. We have some cracking episodes lined up, so make sure you don't miss out. Absolutely, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Share our channel with your mates, your family, your dog, and even the bloke at the corner shop. Your support means the world to us. If you enjoyed today's show, do let us know in the comments. And remember, none of this would be possible without the brilliant team behind the scenes. Big shout out to Felipe and Vicente, who work tirelessly to make sure we get to do what we love. Indeed, we look forward to bringing you more insightful discussions and racing analysis on upcoming episodes. But for now, pedal to the metal, keep your gaze on the road, our channel's content is pure gold. Roll the vignette.